Well, good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
On behalf of the Fellowship Board of Directors, I want to welcome everyone gathered here in Fellowship Hall and online. Whether this is your first time here or you've joined us years ago, we are delighted you are here. The best way for newcomers to get more information is to sign our virtual guest book, either by the QR code on your bulletin or at the welcome table in the fireside room. Feel free to stick around for coffee and conversation after the service. Online folks, you too have an opportunity for conversation. Just stay in the Zoom room. And I do have a few announcements here. The office will be closed Monday through Wednesday of this week. Please plan accordingly. Hopefully, you noticed in Friday's email that the draft budget for next year has been released. We have feedback sessions scheduled for Tuesday at 6:30 and next Sunday after the service. Both sessions are hybrid. If you have comments and questions, now is the time to share them. And lastly, have you heard the old saying, it takes a village to revive a tradition? Last night, our village was in full force at our auction revival. We raised $8,000. And it's going toward our annual budget. Thanks to a fabulous lineup of auction items and to the many people who worked hard to plan this event. The auction committee, treat bringers, software pros, valued musicians, and experts in setting up and tearing down. Let's commit to an auction next year. Will you commit?
Yes, we commit.
Okay. Thank you.
let us gather in fellowship with these words from Swiftwalker. Let's start with the people we love and those who love us. Thankful they are in our lives, obliging us to open our hearts. Let open hearts embrace the earth, the sea and the soil and stars, blessed by bold beauty, the bounty of being. Then, with hearts open to beauty, let us embrace the arts and the generation of learning that we should have wisdom. Let that wisdom we have wanting lead us to strive so the seventh generation hence can live more fully. It is in that work and that work alone that we can express our thankful spirit. May we make it so. For the opening to make it so, let us be truly grateful. And come, let us gather in fellowship. And now I invite those at home to light a candle alongside us as we light our chalice here, saying these words together. We light our chalice in the spirit of gratitude, fierce and loving. We share a commitment to meet this moment of existential crisis together.
Now please rise in body or spirit and sing with me. 'Tis a gift to be simple. Story today, and we're going to ask the young ones to stay where you are rather than coming forward. We are pleased to have The Moon is My Favorite Color, and there's something special about this book. First, I believe we have the author of the book here in the room. Is that right? Welcome. We are so glad to have you. Anderson Vanderpool, right? Allison Vanderpool, thank you for being here. And the other special thing is that the illustrations in this book are done by the same person who has done the art on our walls here in Fellowship Hall and out in the gallery in the round. So I am just taken by this art of Jill Woodward, and the art in the book is by her. So enjoy these today and this book right now. The Moon is My Favorite Color. Oh, look, it's dedicated to us. Thank you. People often ask, what's your favorite color? Is it red, blue, orange, or green, maybe pink or purple, maybe somewhere in between. It's actually none of those. While I think they are all nice, when I tell them my favorite color, they sometimes have to think twice. The moon is my favorite color. Let me tell you why. It's so unique and beautiful, ever changing as the night sky. At first glance, you might think it's yellow or white, but take a closer look and you'll see it's neither of those and both of them and everything in between. With flecks of silver and spots of gray, sometimes it looks like a zoo. The animals in there. Then a cloud cover moves in and changes it to a smoky mountain view. Some nights it's like the deepest sea, as dark as midnight blue. Other nights it's like ocean waves, a turquoise, aqua hue. There are times when it's especially bright, giving off a neon glow. It looks more like a construction site with orange warning flags in tow. Sometimes it wears a tutu in the prettiest pink I've seen. It shakes and shimmies, it glitters and shimmers, just like a dancing queen. It can also be invisible, as mysterious as a ghost. You'd think I'd like it less these nights, but sometimes I like them the most. My favorite color takes some explaining, and I think that's just fine. To change the way we see things can take a little time. With new ideas and points of view, people start to see a different way to look at the world. It happens magically. I took some time to find a color as unique and beautiful as me, one that brings my soul to life and suits me perfectly. So, when you choose your favorite color, don't be afraid to ponder. Look for things that make you smile and fill your heart with wonder. Thank you, Allison, for this lovely book. And young ones, we're not singing you out to class just yet. We're going to do something else that we want you to be present for. We have New Member Sunday today, and we're inviting our new members to come forward so that we can formally welcome them to the congregation. Yes, come on. It is a pleasure to welcome new members into our fellowship. And as we do so, we begin with these words from the Reverend Dr. William Schultz, former president of the Unitarian Universalist Association.
This is the mission of our faith, to teach the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands.
We joyfully welcome you into our congregation and gratefully acknowledge your choice to become members. May you find among us fellowship and help in time of need. We pledge our support and encouragement as you join us in the search for truth and meaning.
We come to
this congregation aware of the privileges and responsibilities of membership. We bring our talents and our enthusiasm, our shortcomings and our doubts, our gifts and our hopes. We freely join the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Aims, ready to bring new energy, vision, and joy.
Tegan, Amanda, and I are going to read the words that would be read by all of you if the slide had gotten in place. Please, on behalf of proxy. As we were once new men here and remember how people welcomed us into community, we offer you our hearty welcome. We are eager to learn with you and from you as we live into our shared values. And all together. Together, may we continue growing spiritually, creating community, striving for justice, and learning to love. Join me in welcoming our new members. Now, as they step over to sign the book, we will sing our children out to their religious education classes.
To see in the world, be the change you want to see in the world, be the change you want to see in the world, and change will come to you.
Thank you. Amber, that was just exactly like you planned it that way. Each week we take an offering here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Ames, and half of it stays here in the fellowship to help us do the work that we do for each other and within these walls. And half of it, every week, half of our non-pledge offering goes out to organizations that align with our values and we align with theirs, and we amplify our power out in the world. By the way, opportunities to suggest organizations that we would include in this offering, this monthly offering, are open. Check your Friday email. I know you read that Friday email every week. There's information in here how to add an organization if you want to suggest one, and we'll vote on those at our annual meeting. This morning and all through the month of November, half of our non-pledge offering is donated to the Impact Community Action Partner, as selected by our young ones, our K-8 students. This organization helps Central Iowa families who are struggling to pay for basic things like heat and electricity, winter coats and diapers. And in these uncertain times, we know that money is precarious for many people, and Impact helps fill the gap. So as always, we're going to pass the baskets. You can use your smartphone to give online today or any other day you think about it. And thank you very much for your generosity. If you're visiting, please know that your presence with us is gift enough. Here's what the Dalai Lama said about peace. Peace, in the sense of the absence of war, is of little value to someone who's dying of hunger or cold. It will not remove the pain of torture inflicted on a prisoner of conscience. Peace can only last where human rights are respected, where people are fed, and where individuals and nations are free. In this time of joys and sorrows that we share each week, that we practice opening the muscle of our heart, of our conscience, of our compassion. Today, I am especially thinking about Veterans Day, coming up on Tuesday, once called Armistice Day, the stopping of the arms, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of the 11th year after the first Great War. Well, was it the first Great War? After the Great War. So, as we think about Veterans Day, I am thinking about the 22,000 veterans in our country who receive SNAP benefits. 22,000 veterans who receive SNAP benefits. Somewhere between 5,000 and 20,000 active duty service people receive food assistance. Yeah, wow. So as we practice opening our hearts and caring for the world, as the world feels so bruised and so battered at this very moment, it is our work to be instruments of peace, to lead the way with open and loving hearts, and to imagine this better way, and not just to imagine it, but to work toward it. We hold each other close here and we tell the truth. We tell the truth about what happens outside, and we tell the truth about what happens among us so that we can hold each other, our joys and our sorrows. We just got a message this morning from Mark Casas letting us know that Terry and Mark are at their winter home in Florida. And Mark says, Terry has another biopsy to do under general anesthesia next week, but we should get started with treatment within a couple of weeks for radiation and chemo. Please keep us in your thoughts and prayers. Mark and Terry, if you're watching today, we do keep you in our heart, thoughts, and prayers, and we miss seeing your faces here. Know that you are still very much part of this community, even when you are away. We like to take a few moments to sit in shared, quiet time and lift up names of individuals or groups that you are particularly holding in your heart. Someone said to me this week, maybe we're mostly lifting up sorrows and not so much joys. Feel free to lift the joys up as well. Let's do this in shared time so that we bless all these names together. The people of Gaza. Hope for our democracy.
All the people that came out with Boulder on Tuesday and gave us hope. Those who are hungry.
For all that is spoken and unspoken, we hold special, tender space within us and among us, and we share that tenderness out into the world. Let's sing together.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stir
Poet Judy Brown writes this about fire. What makes a fire burn is the space between the logs, a breathing space. Too much of a good thing, too many logs packed in too tight can douse the flames almost as surely as a pail of water would. So building fires requires attention to the spaces in between as much as to the wood. When we are able to build open spaces in the same way that we have learned to pile on the logs, then we can see how it is fuel. And the absence of the fuel together is what makes the fire possible. It's the fuel and the absence of the fuel together that make the fire possible. We only need to lay a log lightly from time to time. A fire grows simply because the space is there, with openings in which the flame that knows just how it wants to burn can find its way. You'll hear later that there's a bit of a fire theme, but I don't want to give it away. What I really want to talk about is being packed too tight together. When I first joined you in August of last year, and in the run-up to that, when I was candidating with you, you all said, we want to grow. We want to grow. And sure enough, we are growing. We are welcoming new members. We are welcoming new families. We've got lots of visitors today. We got lots of good, joyful sounds in the space. That's good for us. We've got lots of young people in our religious education program, 60 kids in our religious education program. I know. That's kind of unheard of for a congregation our size, and that's because you dreamed and made it happen that we would have a full-time religious educator, a director of religious education. And so we've got somebody who's working on it all the time. That's how you grow a program, right? So we want to grow, but the thing that we didn't talk about a lot in those early conversations is the growing pains. The logs, packed pretty tight. See where I went with that? See that? Yeah. So we have made the decision to make a change, to make the Sunday shift. And it's all out of love and gratitude. It's all out of love and gratitude. And the enormous trust I believe that we have in each other, that we can try a new thing. So here's what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some, and we're going to have some Q&A. I thought, well, we could do this after a Sunday sometime, and I thought, no, let's do it when everybody's together. How can we make this spiritual? Well, I think it is because we are grateful to be here. We are grateful for each other. We are grateful for the energy that infuses this space, not only on Sunday morning, but on Saturday night at the auction and up in the religious education classrooms and at board meetings and at Soul Matters groups and with the Romeos and the reading group and the women's groups and all of the and the fellowship voices, for goodness sake. Oh, yeah. Just robust and energetic. That's what's happening here, is robust and energetic. And nothing succeeds like success. And so we have to try a new thing to make more space. So here was the process. The staff started talking about it probably in April of last year. We've been talking about it for a long time. And before the end of the program year, around in May, we came up with 4 options for what we might do, 4 ways to add an additional service. And what were the problems that we kind of needed to solve for? What were the things that we needed to do? And so we worked on it and we massaged it and we talked about it and all of that. And in August, when we came back, we coalesced really all of us into one, which is the shift that you see now, the schedule that you have seen before and that we'll talk some about today. Let me just say briefly what those other ideas were. We were trying to uncouple the religious education program from the worship time, because we heard from folks that they might want to be religious education teachers, but they didn't want to miss the Sunday service. We'll see if you really mean it. So we were going to uncouple that and see what that would be like. And we have a desire to be a more intentionally intergenerational congregation. And so we're doing that, and our children really feel a part of it. Clara's in the choir, and our kids are around us, and we think that adds really excellent energy to us. We talked about doing a Friday night, kind of a Vespers service. We talked about doing a Sunday evening kind of Vespers service, and those, we couldn't quite figure out how we would get enough volunteer energy to make those take off, and would they would be really divorced from the Sunday morning experience. Those were two options. A third option was to do the exact same thing that we're doing now, right? Have the same service, the same tech, the same music. Probably religious education would be tied to one service, but not both. I believe this is how you did it before, right? And so one of the things that happened was families would come to one service and not families would come to the other. And it felt like a real split in the congregation. And you told us you didn't like that so much, that you didn't want to do that. So what could be an alternative? And this is the alternative that we talked about. And I talked with colleagues at other Unitarian Universalist congregations who are doing this kind of model and learned how it worked for them. So let's just speak it through. I'm big on branding, and so I named these things for ease for us to learn to talk about. So, the Sunday shift, trademark. From 9 to 9:30 in this space, we will have what we call First Fellowship. It will be a contemplative service, no tech, no musicians. Will be doing a cappella singing, kind of what Madison and I call pocket songs. Easy to hear, easy to pick up, easy to learn. And we'll kind of create a little library of those that we'll return to time after time. We'll do Joys and Sorrows the way we do it now. And we'll do a short program, short homily. I'll probably do something like I am doing at the main service. On Sundays that I'm not in the pulpit, when it will be our Sunday services team, our able Sunday services team, they'll create some different kind of thing for this short service. And we're still talking about what that could look like. We might have meditation, we might have some kind of Qigong or Tai Chi or some movement. We're not sure quite how that will look, but this quiet meditative, contemplative, maybe not meditative, but contemplative service from 9 to 9:30. 9:30 to 10:15 is the interval. The interval, and when that's what happens, actually that should be till 10:30. It should be that full hour. Religious education for children and youth happen during that time. This timing looks a little funny here. You see 9:35. The reason we put that there is because people will be coming in and we think it won't start exactly at 9:30. You should keep 9:30 in your heads. But when we leave here, when our children leave here to go to religious education, they all go at one time. In this, they'll be maybe trickling in a little bit differently. So anyway, religious education will happen in there. Fellowship Voices will rehearse during that time. Our OWL program, our sexuality education, will happen. And probably about 9:50, tech rehearsal will happen, service tech rehearsal. Okay, I'm sorry these numbers are not exactly right. We fooled around with them quite a bit, and they're not set in stone. They just happen to be set on a slide. And then at 10:30, and coffee hour happens in there. So our coffee hour happens, the main part of the coffee hour happens in between the two services, right? So there'll be some energy here and people going around. And then from 10:30 to 11:30 will be our full service, the full Sunday service. Think of full English breakfast, right? The full Sunday service where everything, just like we do it now, with tech, with musicians, and all of that sort of thing. And then if we have enough volunteers, we anticipate a sort of short, informal coffee service after this one. That requires some more volunteers than we really have at the moment, but we want there to be something that we go out and it doesn't look like the refreshment stand at the movie theater is closed when you go to the late showing. You know, this is an important time that we meet people and we meet visitors and so on and so on. So that's the layout. That's what it is. Now, staff, we talked and talked and talked about it and asked a lot of questions about it and tried to get it in our heads. It's not the same thing that we're doing now. It's more options. You have more options for how to participate on Sunday mornings. We figure you need to talk about it too. We haven't gotten a lot of pushback about it, but I figure you may have some questions. So what I'd like to do now is entertain those questions. Ben's got the microphone. He's going to come around, so wait until he gets there. If you're willing to say your name, please do so. We don't all know each other, even though we think we do. And online folks, if you've got questions, I would invite you to put them in the chat. And as we get to the end of the conversation in the room, we'll see what's in the chat. Maybe we will have answered it already. Okay. Gratitude and love. Denny Seitz has a question back there.
I'm Denny. I was wondering, Kelly, what will happen with the groups that meet after the service, like the silent witness, etc.?
That's a great question. We had thought initially that we might be able to use the interval time for some of those meetings, but with our big RE class, all of the meeting rooms are full. There's no space to have another meeting. Except one that's not accessible to everyone. So we think that those groups will continue to meet after the second service. The Social Justice Circle has agreed to meet after the full service. And I think it's up to the folks of the Service of Silent Witness if they want to do that or think about doing it at a different time. I think it remains to be seen what feels comfortable with folks. Thank you for that. Ben gets lots of steps on these mornings.
Thanks, Ben. I'm Ginny. I'm just wondering, when the children are finished with their religious education for youth and the full service starts, will they be going to the full service? And
You
that
bet.
would be 60 extra people there.
If there were 60 extra people, we have 60 kids enrolled, but they're not all here all at the same time. So, for example, all of our kids that were here today for religious education were in the room and then left. So we incorporated them. It wasn't the full 60 today. The owl is still out there. All services are welcome to all ages all the time. That's a direction that we are intentionally moving in. And just by the way, you may not know it, but we have young people in the room all the time. Right, we do now. We're doing that now. Some kids don't want to go to RE. We often have our activity tables, and I think those will be more regular to have up. And we may have some activity tables out in the fireside room, but we're likely to need somebody to sit out there to keep the noise level down. So, but our intention is that we organize services so it's interesting for people of all ages. I don't normally get up here and do a real lecture on a very, sometimes it's a heavy topic, but it's not usually, something that is not too accessible. We'll see what Mally wants me to do for that one that he purchased at the auction last night. We'll see how we can make that an intergenerational talk. But the idea is that they would be here. Yeah, Denny here has one. Dennis.
My name is Dennis Dake, and I've been coming here to the fellowship since 1971. And I think Kay's Burger is the only other one in this room that has been here that long. So she'll know this story. The story is the last time this happened, when I came here, it was just the fireside room, and it was a very cold place. There was a big controversy over whether the rug could be added to add some warmth to it. And I was on the board, and this exact same thing came up. We'd grown too big, and we needed a bigger space. I knew it, so I went to Eno Kanlari, who was the extension specialist at Iowa State University. I said, how do you start a building campaign? And Eno gave me packets and packets of things. And we had a model built, and that was the way we got the money to start the building campaign. And I served for 3 years on the building committee for this very room. And since I was the one that started the art program, that's why that wall is there. This place is so special to me. And I'm sorry, when Reverend Kelly said I should talk to the board and be a consultant, because I know what we went through, it didn't work, the 2 services. We're going to have to build a new building somewhere, I think, and it's going to be really traumatic.
Thank you. Thank you, Dennis. I think that we very much have the sense that this beloved space, this space of memory and hope, of ancestors here, is not something that we would give up in any way lightly. It's really not a conversation that's happening about moving into a new space. And we're not doing it the same way as before. We're not looking back. We are looking forward. What are the things we can do? This congregation has a great history of being creative, right? And Dennis, I'm so grateful that you had the vision with others of this gallery wall, because creativity is around us all the time. And that's one of the values that we hold up. So what's the creative way that we can expand here in our beloved place of memory and hope? I think that's the message. We're not trying to do something that we did before. We're trying to build a new way. Yeah. Let's see, Mary up here, and we probably got some from online. Yep. Oh, 6. Excellent. Oh, I have something to say about online as well. Yeah.
I just want to thank Dennis for the looking back, but also looking forward. The board has also discussed this pretty extensively and sort of approved the move forward thing. And one of the things we've talked about is parking. So talk about logs and log jams. So, and part of the model, I think, is that people can pick and choose what they want to do and maybe not stay for everything, which might relieve the space in the lot. So I just wanted to throw that out there that, maybe you wouldn't do everything on Sunday, and that might also free up some space for parking. And we've also talked about other options for getting here, like carpooling and other options, biking maybe, but I just want to bring up the parking thing. So.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Kay, do you have a short one? Because we want to get to the online folks. Okay.
I just wanted to say thank you to Dennis. Yes, I was here to work with him, and that's the past is where all of these quilts came from, and we put those together. And I just the past is so precious, but I know the future is too.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So we're going to listen to what the folks online have put into the chat.
Okay, so we have some questions online here. The first one is, will there be a way for Zoomers to contribute live with a reading or other contribution in the Sunday shift?
This is a great question, because let me preface this just a little bit by saying we're changing the way that we will broadcast our service. Now, as you online folks know, and many of you in the room because you've done this, you enter a Zoom room and you see each other, and you may see each other get up and go get a cup of coffee or look like you're meditating on the couch. I know you're not asleep, you're just thinking deeply about what's happening. So we are going to shift that and to a streaming broadcast, which means that you won't see each other. You will still be able to chat with each other, but it'll stream live, probably on YouTube, and you'll still be able to get to it, we believe, from our homepage. Click here to join the service. And then you'll have a Zoom coffee hour as you do now. Will people online still be able to contribute? Yes, though it might require us doing a recording of a reading ahead of time. We're not entirely sure if that's how it will work. We still want the participation of the online audience. Does that need to be recorded maybe on Wednesday so we can show it on Sunday morning as a little video? Or can we continue to have a Zoom room so somebody could be present? I don't exactly know the answer to that. And I want to tell you that we're collating all these questions. The staff will meet in December for a little mini retreat for implementation of the plan. And that's a really great question that we'll want to take there. Thank you.
Okay, we got 6 more questions, and some of these have already been partially answered, so
Okay.
they might be quick. But which part of the shift will be Zoomed?
Just the full service. There will be no tech at the first fellowship, with the exception of a microphone. But only the full service will be broadcast.
And there was another question about how will this impact parking, and which I think is that was addressed somewhat earlier, but I don't know if you had anything else to say.
No, just wondering if easier parking would help some of you Zoom folks be present in the building with us. I don't know if that would be true. If parking is a hindrance to coming to the fellowship, I'd love to know that.
And the next question is, when will Zoom people be able to enjoy coffee and conversation online?
After the full service.
Next question is there a chance that childcare could be provided for children whom being in the service doesn't work well?
We always have childcare for the littles. We certainly will do that, and we've talked to parents about do your kids want to be in here the whole time? But we think also with some shifts in the way we present, and maybe our young ones, the ones who are able to do so, could pass the baskets or light the chalice or do some other things that involve them, actually engage them in the service.
Next question is, how will joys and sorrows from the 9 a.m. service be able to be shared with the whole congregation?
Joys, I want to be very clear that joys and sorrows at the 9 o'clock service is not going back to the milestone moment as we used to have it. And I know there's still some grief about that. Like we shared today, the story about one person who had given us permission to share their health concern, it would be shared both at 9 and at 10:30. But the things that people say allowed are really just for what happens in this space and online. So it wouldn't be shared with the other one. I think we would be handling it very much like we are now. And if something is announced, it's announced, but if it's not, it's the joys and sorrows that we just lift up together. I hope that helps answer that question.
And the last question is it possible to leave the Zoom option as it is during the first service?
Not during the first service. The second service. The reason that we are making this decision is that we know when we stream, our recording is much better. We use the recording in a couple of ways. One is that we want to communicate with the people who are online. We want you to be able to enjoy the service. And this service lives in perpetuity on our YouTube page. If you miss this Sunday, you can go look at it another time. It is a much, much better product when it is recorded via stream rather than via Zoom. We have the technology to do it, and as that is an outreach tool for us, that's the way that we're going to continue to do it. Plus, we have heard from some people that when they come into the Zoom space and they do see people doing whatever they want to be doing in their homes, it can be a little bit distracting. So if you do that every Sunday and you're part of the gig and you know what it's like, it may not be distracting. But for newcomers coming who may join us first via Zoom, it can be distracting, and we're really mindful of the newcomer experience. Thank you for those questions. I am mindful that it's now 11 o'clock and we have a couple more things that we need to do. Thank you for engaging in this. The conversation will still be lively. Please, please email me or any one of the staff members. Talk to us. Let us know about it. We're going to make some mistakes. We know that we're going to make some mistakes. We're going to course correct as we go along. We're going to have at least a year-long experiment with this. We're going to be checking in along the way. It's going to feel a little weird. It's going to feel like putting on a funky little garment, and we're going to figure out a new way. We are going to build a new way. Don't you think we should sing that? Yeah. Absolutely. Come on, let's do it.
Please rise, embody your spirit, and sing with me. Building a new way. We are
Let us extinguish all of our chalices, here and those with our friends online, by saying together, We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And since we just put out that fire, let's spend a moment talking about what we would do if there was a real fire. All right, it is too cold to ask anybody to actually go outside today, so we're just gonna talk it through. All right, first priority is everyone's safety, and fire is an important part of our ritual. So the building does not have automatic fire alarms. It has smoke detectors, but always be mindful of whenever there is a fire lit. Now, if something were to happen in this space, everyone on this side of the room, you would proceed out that emergency exit through the Memorial Garden and proceed up to the upper lot. Everyone on this side of the room would go out the emergency exit around the corner, out the red doors, and proceed up to the upper parking lot. Right now, all the kiddos in RE are also being guided on what would happen if there were a real fire. The RE teachers are well trained in this, and so they will make sure that the kiddos are safe and will find their way up there as well. So they will be fine. The elevators would be turned off in the event of a real fire, so please do not attempt to get there, to get down to the parking lot, to get to your car, because you should not leave in your car if a real fire is happening. The fire trucks will need access to Highland, and all of us trying to leave will just get in the way. If there happens to be a small fire that you think you can manage, we do have fire extinguishers here. One is in the pulpit near me, one is back near that door, and another one happens to be around the corner. So, in lieu of going outside, that is our fire drill. You're welcome.
I woke up this morning saying we're not going outside unless there's an actual fire. So there's that gratitude this morning to our musicians. Oh, Fellowship Voices. Thank you. Peggy and Amber, thank you so much for the beautiful, beautiful music. Our facilitators, Karen and Ben, our tech team, Titus and Donald, all the treat bringers and coffee servers and cleanup people and just all of you. So, so grateful. We are in this together, dear ones. Whatever happens in the world, we are here in mutual love, gratitude, and mutual aid. Blessed be, and after the choir sings, go in peace.
Never know how strong we become till